Hi y'all, it's Kimberly. Hi everybody. Here's my puppy dog. This is my new mask. I got it a few days ago. I'm gonna switch them out every once in a while. Today's video, I'm gonna talk about Jenna Marbles and the implosion of YouTube. Well, a lot of people have been, I don't know if they're really being canceled or Jenna made an apology video, and several people have done that after her, and they're making the videos because of things that they did in the past on YouTube. And I've made I think a few videos where I did talk about Jenna Marbles. That, oh, I love her so much, she's so funny, you know. And I never saw any of that stuff that she did in the beginning. I did see a lot of her other comedy, and I thought she was funny. And I saw stuff from, a little bit from Shane Dawson, not a whole lot. But I never saw any of his racist stuff. Same thing with Jeffree Star. I never saw his Nazi stuff and all that. I just didn't see it, you know. I haven't been on YouTube for very long, and when it first came out, I really didn't know what it was, and I would look up recipe videos. I've said this before, and it would shoot me over to YouTube, and I would look at how-to and stuff like that, and I didn't really understand the platform. I didn't know that you could just get on it and do whatever. I ended up seeing some vlogs and some funny things and music videos, and but I thought you had to have like a studio, and I thought these people were kind of professional or, you know, amateur actors or something trying to get a platform for themselves or something like that. So I didn't pay much attention to it until I dumped some videos off my phone and I put it on YouTube because I had small storage on my phone. And so I kind of left it there, and then 6 months or a year later, I saw, oh, these random videos got views, people watched them. So then I started looking up, or I think I just came across a few videos of, or I had heard people were becoming millionaires from YouTube, and, you know, there's some controversy about it being a viable form of media, you know, that I think there were TV commentators that were dismissing the value of YouTube or something like that. There was a video with Jenna Marbles or she did an interview, not a video, I guess. And they kind of treated her poorly over it. But YouTube is, you know, one of the biggest platforms around for videos, and it's becoming like a form of, I want to say, to me, I think it's becoming like a form of mainstream media, because even news outlets and other professional outlets that dismissed it before, now they have their own YouTube channels. You know, they're realizing the value and the extent of how many people YouTube reaches. So YouTube has a real foothold on, you know, the whole media system. That's about the best way I can say it, you know. And I just never did see those things. And then when Jenna Marbles made her apology video, and then the Shane Dawson, all that, Jeffree Star, all that came up, and other people too, not just them. They were just the main ones. I was like, oh, so shocked, you know. I was like, wow, I never saw any of that, you know. And I was retracing my ancestry one day. I'll kind of work on it every once in a while, and this was years ago, probably about 10 years ago. I found a name in my ancestry that was a Jewish name, and it's a real Jewish name. It's Zora Babel. Who would name their kid Zora Babel if you weren't Jewish, you know? It has significance, and it's from the Bible. He was like a leader. I took Bible class in high school, and I had when I was looking it up, and I saw that name on the list of when you look it up, it gives you a list of the name of the parents and then each of the kids they had. And back then, I don't know how it is in other cultures, but a lot of white, Western or American culture, I guess, they take a name from, like if your grandmother had 10 kids, this is what happened to my mom. They took a name from one of her aunts, and they took a name for another aunt and gave her name. 2 names, her first name and her middle name. And that nearly happened to me. My mother, she didn't know that our great-grandmother was named Melissa Elizabeth. And she was like, "Oh, Mom, why didn't you tell me that? I would have named Kim that." So my name would not have been Kimberly. It would have been Melissa Elizabeth, which I think is a beautiful name. But I'm used to this one already. But, so when I was looking up, there was only that one name, Zorobabel. That's a very unique, name, and it's the Jewish significance and history of it. So I was thinking, am I Jewish, part Jewish? I'm not, never has it been mentioned. Not one inkling, I know that I do have Native American ancestry. I've known that since I was a very little kid. And actually I was looking up parts trying to verify and identify some stuff about my Native American ancestry. And my grandmother had told us this story. Never wrote it down. She just told us this story. She would tell us stories all the time, and I actually had a recording of it, but I was so stupid that I recorded over my grandmother's stories. I think I recorded something like Joan Jett or something stupid. I never forgive myself for that. Ugh. And I think this story was on that tape. But she had told me this story. It's a very sad story, and I found that story on a page on Ancestry.com, and it had the name on it and everything. So to me, this is a story that my grandmother told me when I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I found this, I think it was in my 40s, and I found it online, and I'm not good at the internet or anything like that. I was like so shocked. So when I found this name, Zorobabel, so I was thinking, well, do I have Jewish ancestry? I don't know. And so the Jeffree Star thing with the Nazi thing, yeah, it's offensive in general, just in common decency. Personally, I don't go to temple. I'm not, I wasn't raised Jewish. I wasn't, I don't read I don't speak Hebrew. I don't, I'm not immersed in any kind of Jewish culture whatsoever. But in general, yeah, it was offensive, and just as a human being, and so are the other things, I just, God, people do the dumbest things and say the stupidest things, and I am subscribed to Jenna Marbles. I'm not going to unsubscribe. She took herself offline, and she admitted it. She accepted the backlash. She acknowledged that she did something stupid, and she made an apology, and now she's on her sabbatical or whatever she's doing. If she's going to quit or come back, I don't know, whatever. But I don't hate these people because I don't think they're horribly disgusting people. I don't, I think there's far worse people, and they did do something so stupid. But I think a lot of that was the culture at the time. You had Dave Chappelle, and I grew up with Richard Pryor, and I have his record, a record that he named Bicentennial, and it has a racial slur. That was the title of his record, and everybody played it. It was very big selling record, and he, later on in his later years, he said he was never going to use that word again. He was not going to degrade his race that way in any way whatsoever, and I think a lot of people are kind of going through this now, and I mean, YouTube's just kind of imploding right now, so. And with the George Floyd death, you know, I've seen so many people be murdered online. You know, I never thought I'd see a human being killed before in my lifetime, but I have seen so many, you know, from all the videos and people being there with cameras and everything. It's, you know, being recorded. History is being recorded that way. You know, it's always happened. It's always happened, but now we are able to record it and catch it, you know, as in time that it's happening. You know, and it kind of verifies, you know, these things, horrible things do happen, you know. And I try not to idolize or martyr people, I guess, in a way. There was a lady named Candace Owens, and she was really upset and saying that they shouldn't be putting him on a t-shirt, and, you know, and people shouldn't be wearing his t-shirt and his face on a t-shirt and stuff like that. He had been in prison and things like that, you know. And I feel bad that I mean, this is just a horrible situation, and I don't even know what to say. I don't know how to say it. It just, those are things that I'm not going to put on my channel. I mean, I'm not going to do racial things like that, skits or something. That's never going to happen on my channel. My channel will not be anything like that. Even giving an opinion, you know, I'm probably going to be very conservative about it, because I don't really think it's that important for me to give my opinion about whether George Floyd was a good person or a bad person, or, you know, or judging people. You know, that's not going to be really that much. I'm not going to put that much importance on it. I have made a couple of what was it, Micah Stauffer, and I think there was one other video I did, I can't remember. That was a little touchy to me because of the subject matter. It was a child, and they were being, because I have a big issue with that, and I had that even before she was on there, about child actors and the way they're treated. And I'm a fan of the Osmonds. I love the Osmonds. I'm obsessed with them. I was when I was a kid, and after reading their family story, their life story, I mean, they lost everything. Those kids worked from as soon as they could talk, you know, and they lost everything. So I kind of, you know, and the things with other child actors throughout TV and movies and stuff like that, they were treated horribly, you know. So I kind of already had a issue with that. And when the Micah Stauffer thing came up, I mean, it just kind of sparked, you know, just picked at something that I already was disgusted with and already had issues about, you know, already had my opinion about that. But this YouTube implosion with the racial stuff, oh, God, what can you say about it? It's a horrible mess. I can't really, like I say, I'm not going to idolize or martyr anybody, you know, because they're stupid, they're dumb, they make mistakes. I mean, God, if I could just, I have regrets in my life that I wish I could turn back time so much. And people who say, oh, I don't regret anything, I don't, you know, I don't believe that. Or you must have some really bad secrets you're hiding. You must be really, really hiding something. You know, yeah, there's things that I've said stupid things, I've done dumb things, and I wish there's people I'd never met. You know, so I try not to idolize anybody or bring anybody, you know, put them on a pedestal or anything like that, because they're going to, you know, they're going to completely disappoint you when you do that. So I just try to stay away from stuff like that. I don't, you know, I don't really, I would rather love my puppy dogs or something like that, you know, horses, dogs, you know, things like that. People, you just, they're just a basket of Something I can't say on YouTube. Well, that's pretty much how I'm going to try to, keep my channel pretty clean and not try to get into too much stuff like that. There's a few personal things I might come up with that I might make remarks about or have a reaction to, but I'm going to try my best to not have stuff like that on my content like that on my channel, because I don't want to offend people, and I don't, I'm not a comedian. I don't, I'm not good at making jokes, and I don't think anybody should do stuff like that. It's just, maybe Chris Rock, I don't know, he can make you laugh at things that are so not right. Leave it to the professionals, and that's about all I can say about that. Well, thank you for coming to my channel. Comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.